Live. Why are we getting such a low bit rate? You know what? I think it's actually changing whatever it is I'm sending up. So the slide, for instance, isn't very high. But when I go to the camera, it will. All right. The following Patreon baseball special is a presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and/or future. And a very good evening to you. My name is Ron Juckett. We welcome you to this baseball special presentation, bought and paid for on Patreon. Braves for Life is a huge Braves fan, and he wants to redo the Game 7 of the 1991 World Series. And so that's exactly what we're going to do this evening. We go back to October 27th, a Sunday night in 1991. And when Pat and John were done with whatever CBS game that they were doing for football, Murder, She Wrote, and the CBS Sunday night movie That's the Way Love Goes was not seen in order, so we may bring you Game 7 of the 1991 World Series. A significant one, of course, the 91 series, one of the best of all time. Game 6, of course, was the Kirby Puckett game. He took Charlie Leibrandt deep in the 11th inning. That was after robbing a home run earlier in the game, which, of course, gave the Twins a chance to win Game 7 at home. We have the exact lineups as played on that night. It's Jack Morris going for the Twins and John Smoltz going for Atlanta. I am going to manage Atlanta because that's an Atlanta Braves game. That's what you're supposed to do. But pitching changes and such, I will override the computer. Scott Erickson and Steve Avery were the starters in Game 6. And because this is a Game 7, they can go an inning. There is no more tomorrows after tonight. So that's the difference, is that the computer will manage the Twins, but I will pretty much override whatever the bullpen is. Everybody's available. There's 43 players on Atlanta and 40 for Minnesota. Let the chips fall where they may. It's the Braves and the Twins for the 1991 World Series next on Retro Sports Network. And so here we go. Let's go Braves. Yes, this thing is on. And Johnny, true story, was so upset I missed school the next day. I asked a girl out the week that the Red Sox lost the 86 series. Yeah, let's just say my mother held me home for a couple days after that, okay? All righty then. So these are the exact lineups. It's Jack Morris, who went 18-12 in 1991 with a 3.43 ERA. We won't go through the playoff record, but on the regular season, 246 and 2/3 innings, 226 hits, 18 home runs, 92 walks, 163 strikeouts. And here's the lineup he'll face for the Atlanta Braves in the last National Baseball game called by Jack Buck. Sean McDonough took over in 92 and 93 to work with Tim McCarver. Lonnie Smith is your DH. We're in an American League Park. We play with a DH. That was the rules in 91. Terry Pendleton will bat second and play third. Ron Gant is in center. He'll bat third. David Justice is in right field. He'll clean up. Sid Bream, the big hero in 1992, is at first. He'll bat fifth. It is Brian Hunter is in left field. He'll bat sixth. Greg Olson, the catcher, will bat seventh. Mark Lemke, Dirt, the second baseman, will bat eight, or maybe he'll bathe eight. I don't know. Rafael Belliard is a shortstop. He will bat ninth. Defensively for the Twins, Dan Gladden, a 5 and a 2 in left. Kirby Puckett, my favorite player, an 8 and an 8 in center. Shane Mack is a 5 and a 4 in right. Mike Pagliarulo is a 7 at third. Greg Gagne is a 6 at short. Chuck Knobloch could find first base in 1991. He is a 6. And the villain, Kent Hrbek, is a 6 at first. Brian Harper is behind the plate. I'll try not to call him Bryce. He is a 4 and a 3, and Jack Morris is a 7 on the mound. If you're wondering about pitch count, Morris's pitch count is about 120. That should get him in to the 8th or 9th inning, depending on how close the game is. John Smoltz, the real-life starter for the Braves, should go about 120 pitches. In the real game, he went into the 8th inning in a scoreless tie. I believe, gang, this picture is from that World Series. So here we go. Lonnie Smith, 275, 7 homers, and 44 RBI in the real season. Digging in for the biggest game of his life. And Jack Morris is ready. And Game 7 starts with a ground ball to Gagne behind the bag at second. Over to Hrbek, 1 away. Brings up Terry Pendleton at 319. 22 homers and 86 RBI. There is not an empty seat here at the Metrodome. And the Vikings aren't even playing. Let's change history tonight. Pendleton ready to face Morris. Jack delivers. And there's a fly ball left center field. Back goes Gladden. He will turn and watch it go. And history has been changed in the first inning. Terry Pendleton has homered to make a 1-0 Brave. Here it is again. Pendleton just sent out one to the opposite field, and there wasn't a blessed thing that Danny Gladden could do. So Atlanta goes up 1-0. And Morris will not get a 1-0 shutout. Well, he might. He might be on the other end of it. Ron Gant at 251, 32 homers, and 105 RBI. 1-0 Braves top the first. Morris steals. Gant ground ball to Pagliarulo at third. Over to Hrbek. Hrbek just puts up the hands and says, I'm not taking you off the bag. 2 out. So David Justice at 275. 21 homers, 87 RBI. And the Braves fan says, nice start. Jack Morris doesn't agree. Pitch to Justice, ball 4. Full count, high and away. Morris, because I should look, is a ground ball plus pitcher, and he throws an 86-mile-an-hour fastball. Sid Breen signing an autograph in that picture with the Dodgers. 253, 11 homers, and 45 RBI. And there's a balk. Morris has balked before he could throw a pitch, and Tom Kelly not happy already. So Justice in scoring position, and no count to Breen. Morris needs to bear down into center field. Puckett moves over into right center and makes the catch to retire the side. Atlanta on the solo shot by Terry Pendleton. Gets a run on a hit, no errors. Half an inning in the books. It's Atlanta 1, Minnesota nothing. And so John Smoltz at 14 and 13 is going to have his hands full in a game where there's a DH. He had a 3.80 ERA. 229 and 2/3 innings, 206 hits. He allowed 16 homers. He walked 77 and struck out 148. Get rid of that. The National League hit 243 off him, and I saw him pitch in Burlington, Vermont in 1987 for 88, yeah, 88 for the Glens Falls Tigers, I think. Dan Gladden will lead off in left field for Minnesota. Chuck Knobloch will bat second and play second. Kirby Puckett is in center field. He'll bat third. Kent Herbeck cleans up at first. Chili Davis is the DH for Minnesota tonight. He'll bat fifth. Brian Harper, the catcher, will bat sixth. Shane Mack, the right fielder, will go seventh. Mike Pagliarulo, the third baseman, bats eighth. And Greg Gagne, the shortstop, bats ninth. Morris threw 22 pitches in the first inning. Defensively for the Braves, not a great defensive lineup in left. Hunter is a 2 and a 1 in left. That's horrible. Ron Gant, a 6 and a 5 in center. Justice, a 5 and a 9 in right. How you doing, Tribe fan? Nice to have you along. Terry Pendleton is a 9 at third. Rafael Billiard is a 7 at short. Mark Lemke is a 6 at second. And Sidney Bream is a 5 at first. Greg Olson, if the Twins decide to steal, is a 7 and a 4 behind the plate. And Smoltz, a decent fielder, is a 7 on the mound. Gladden at 247, 6 homers, and 52 RBI. 1-0 Braves. If you just joined us, Terry Pendleton, a solo shot in the top of the first. Smoltz delivers, and Gladden struck out. Game 7. Got him on a 1-2 on the inside corner. And that's exactly what Smoltz wants. Smoltz, his bread and butter is the slider. He is a standard pitcher. He is not favoring ground balls or fly balls. And his fastball tops out at 88. Chuck Knobloch at 281, 1 homer, and 50 RBI. All the marbles. The 1991 season ends tonight. Smoltz delivers, and Knobloch up the middle for a base hit. And that brings up Kirby Puckett. Remember, it was his Game 6 home run that we would see you tomorrow night at 319, 15 homers, and 89 RBI. Knobloch on first. Throw to first. Knobloch is back. Smoltz will now concentrate on Puckett. Here's the pitch. There goes Knobloch. Fly ball to left. Hunter moves over. That's foul. And somebody from Duluth made that play in the stands. So a ball and a strike to Puckett. Smoltz deals. There goes Knobloch, and another ground ball, foul. Ball girl flips it to a kid from Minneapolis. So the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Smoltz delivers. Puckett line drive to Pendleton, who makes the catch for the second out. Brings up Kent Herbeck. 284, 20 homers, 89 RBI. Herbie's a baby in that picture. That's got to be from 82, the first year of the Metrodome. Pitch to Kent. There's a ground ball to Pendleton. He goes all the way across to first to retire the side. The Twins get a hit. They do not score, and there are no errors. We've played 1. It's Atlanta 1, Minnesota nothing. Brian Hunter, Greg Olson, and Mark Lemke to bat here in the top of the second. Hunter at 251, 12 homers, and 50 RBI. 18 pitches for Smoltz in the first. Morris threw 22, and Hunter laces that one into left field for a base hit. So that's a single. That's the second hit for the Braves, and that'll bring up Greg Olson. At 241, 6 homers, 44 RBI. The Twins, of course, won the World Series in 1987. Most of you who are younger that will watch this on YouTube will be familiar with the son of one of their relief pitchers. Some kid by the name of Mahomes? Well, his daddy got a ring in 87. And the son got a Super Bowl ring last week. Mahomes is not on this team, I don't think. But the Twins had fallen on hard times, and by 1990 had fallen into last place in the American League West. tell you about the Braves in a moment. Pitch to Olson, got away from Harper, and that's a pass ball, but it shouldn't be because Hunter held on at first. So the 0-2 splitter in the dirt, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Morris deals. Olson into right center. Puckett's going over, makes the catch. Hunter goes back to tag, but is going to bluff and not go. 1 out for Mark Lemke, who I'd forgotten was a part-time player. He only had 269 at-bats. 234, 2 homers, and 23 RBI. The Braves had been the doormats of the National League West for years. They would occasionally show some signs of life. Bobby Cox was brought in to manage, and John can tell me when exactly that was. But they caught lightning in the bottle and went from worst to first, and it's the first World Series ever between 2 teams that went from worst to first. 1 out, pitch to, now it's a throw to first, and Hunter's back on a close play. No count, and Morris will worry about Lemke, who can bunt. And that's what we're going to do. Lemke squares, bunt is down. Morris throws it to Knobloch covering, and Hunter moves into scoring position. It worked, 2 out. Infield playing back, and we'll take advantage of that 10 times out of 10. Brings up the former Pittsburgh Pirate, Rafael Belliard, 249, no homers, and 27 RBI. Morris trying to keep this a 1-0 game. Pitch to Belliard, and there's a ground ball to Knobloch over to Herbeck, and that will retire the side. The Braves put a runner in scoring position, do not score. No runs, a hit, they leave 1 after 1.5. Atlanta 1, Minnesota 0. Chili Davis, Brian Harper, and Shane Mack to face Smoltz. Davis at 277, 29 homers, and 93 RBI. If you're wondering how the Metrodome played in 1991, well, against a left-handed batter, which is Chili Davis in this case, it's a plus 2% in batting average and a plus 5% chance of a homer down that hanking in right field. I take it that's supposed to be 1990 for Bobby Cox. So he rebuilt that team in a hurry. The righties, a right-handed batter, to the line and left, will get a 12% boost in batting average, but minus 11 in home runs. And it certainly was more spacious as you're going into one of the end zones for the Vikings, because the hefty bag out in right field, that you can kind of see from the blurry pic, held back 1990 to 2010. Okay. Held back the football bleachers for the Vikings. Pitch to Davis is a fly ball to shallow right. Justice comes in, 1 out. Crowd doesn't like that. Brian Harper at 311, a good hitting catcher. 10 homers and 69 RBI. Pitch from Smoltz. Harper, ground ball up the middle. Lemke by the bag at second. Over to first for the out. So Bobby Cox, Lorenzo says, was from a town near and dear to me, Selma, California. My father went to school with a family. Oh, isn't that cool? How nice is that? Shane Mack at 310, 18 homers. You said that. You got that right. And 74 RBI. 2 out, bottom of the second. Here's the pitch. And there's a chopper down to third. Pendleton's had a busy game so far. Over to Bream, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 2 here in Minnesota, 1-0 Braves. If you want any game in the Action PC library played, $10. We'll get it to you. It will be patreon.com/retrosportsnetwork. Lonnie Smith, 0 for 1, so through 9 batters. Morris had 35 pitches, 2 innings, the solo shot to Pendleton, 2 hits, and a walk. And Lorenzo reminds us 42 years his wife, with his wife. That's sweet. And absolutely congratulations. That's a long time. Pitch to Smith. Got him. So Morris got him on a 1-2 fastball for strike 3. That's the first for Jack. And here's Terry Pendleton. His opposite field shot to left center is the difference here in Game 7. 1-0, 1 out, top the third. Morris deals. There's a liner up the middle. That's a base hit. And so Pendleton has a 1-out single. He is 2 for 2, and he has solved Jack Morris. How Madam Tablet thinks I said her keyword is beyond me, but you never know. And Mrs. Lorenzo says it seems like an eternity from her point of view. Did I tell you about the couple on their 76th wedding anniversary? Here's Ganny's 0 for 1. Pitch to Morris. Pendleton's not going anywhere because I forgot I'm the one running the Braves, and Morris got a strikeout. 1-2 breaking ball looking. So here's David Justice. He walked his first time up. Pendleton's going to go. Harper throws down to Gagne, and they got him. How about that? 69% chance of stealing the base and a 31% chance that they threw him out, which is exactly what happened. No runs, a hit, no errors. Nobody left. 2.5 in the books. Atlanta 1, Minnesota nothing. And so Puckett sounds like Juckett. Or something else that spouses say to each other when they're aggravated. We'll just leave it at that. And so, 76th wedding anniversary, and go through the day, and the husband realizes that he didn't get a gift. Pagliarulo at 279, 6 homers and 36 RBI. Pretty much a straight platoon at third. Pitch to Mike, and there's a liner in the left field. Hunter will pick it up on a hop, and Tags is on with a single. Second hit for the Twins. And so finally, the poor guy goes to his wife. Greg Gagne, by the way, 265, 8 homers and 42 RBI. And says, why didn't you get me anything? This joke has taken so long I lost 2 viewers. Why didn't you get me anything? And the harried wife says, honey, you didn't use the coffin I bought you last year. I'll be here all the week. Please try the veal. Smoltz delivers. Gagne strikes out. He got him on an 0-2 slider looking for strike 3. Tribe fan passes out. And so there's 1 out for Dan Gladden, who struck out his first time up. 9 batters for Smoltz, 2 in the third innings. 2 hits and a strikeout. I think I made Tribe fan pass out. Did you watch the George Hendrick game I posted? Lorenzo missed the punchline. Wow. And he writes after waiting what seemed an eternity. I'll repeat it for those of you just rejoining the stream. Honey, you didn't use the coffin I bought you last year. Pitch to Gladden. There goes Pagliarulo. Throw down to Lemke, and they threw him out. Wow. So the computer gets kind of gutsy and tries to steal Pagliarulo, and Olsen gunned him down. It goes 2-4 on the card, and there's 2 out, and a 1-0 count now to Gladden. Pitch from Smoltz is a fly ball to right. Back goes Justice in the right field corner, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We've played 3. Atlanta 1, Minnesota nothing. It'll be Justice, Bream, and Hunter to face Morris in the 4th. 49 pitches for Jack, 41 for Smoltz. Justice walked his first time up. Pitch from Morris. Fly ball right field. Mack, 1 out. So this one's turning into be a game that's tight as a tick. Sid Bream's 0 for 1. Morris steals, and there's a ground ball to Gagne over to first, 2 out. Yep, losing viewers on that one. There you go. No one said I was a stand-up comedian. Brian Hunter, by the way, has got a single. It told me I went from 7 to 4. Pitch. Ground ball, base hit, right side. Mack will pick it up. And the Braves have their 4th hit. They've left 2 on. Brings up Greg Olson, who's 0 for 1. So Morris obviously is not going to get the complete game unless he really bears down and is quite efficient. But Smoltz is looking in pretty good shape. Pitch to Olson. Here's a chopper to Knobloch. Fantastic diving stop. Quick throw to first, and that will retire the side. Wowzers, he robbed him of a hit. No runs a hit. The Braves strand 1. 3.5 down. It is Atlanta 1, Minnesota nothing. So Knobloch, Puckett, and Hrbek to face Smoltz here in the 4th. And Morris at 63 pitches through 4. Knobloch is 0 for 1. Smoltz delivers. There's a ground ball to Lemke over to first for the out. So if you were worried like I was that John Smoltz might have been a liability on the mound with that 3.80 ERA, well, right now it's working out. Here's Kirby Puckett. Kirby's 0 for 1. And Kirby sends out one in the hole and left. For a single, he's on. That's the 3rd Twins hit. So 1-0 Atlanta. Bottom of the 4th. Hrbek 0 for 1. Smoltz looking good. And there's a high fly ball to right. Back goes Justice. That is off the wall. Puckett will round 3rd. They're going to try it. Lemke cuts it off. The throw to Olson is not in time. We're tied up at 1. Kent Hrbek doubles and Kirby scores. Tribe fan says, I would like to thank the Twins for letting the Indians get Paul Sorrento. Many memorable moments for the Indians. There you go. So, Hrbek found the top of the hanky of the hefty bag and is 1-1. A run on 4 hits and no errors for both teams. And here's Chili Davis. And the Braves contingent says darn. And that's what it says. I didn't edit that for broadcast. He just said darn. So 1-1 in the 4th. Davis. There's a pop-up right side. Justice makes the catch. Hrbek will go back, and he will not tag. And there's 2 out for Harper, who's 0 for 1. Those hairstyles are so early 90s, too. So Smoltz, Charles, yep, as Tribe fan says, Charles Chili Davis. World Series winner with the Yankees in 98. Big part of that team. Harper is hit by the pitch. And so his runners on first and second, high and tight, got him in the ribs. Shane Mack is 0 for 1. Smoltz was cruising right along until this inning. Pagliarulo on deck. Pitch to Mack. Fly ball center field. Back goes Gant. He's running. He makes the catch to retire the side. A run on 2 hits and no errors. The Twins strand 2. The scoreboard has some symmetry. 1-1 Atlanta and Minnesota here in Game 7. Both teams a run on 4 hits, no errors, and they've left 3 on. Lemke sack bunt his first time up. Belliard and Smith to follow. Morris starting the 5th. And he gets Lemke to strike out. A 2-2 fastball at the belt got him looking. That's 3 for Morris. And that'll bring up Rafael Belliard, who's 0 for 1. Morris steals. Ground ball to short. Gagne in the hole makes a stop. Over to Hrbek for the out. And so good defense on for both teams. And there's 2 out for Lonnie Smith. 0 for 2. And has himself a strikeout. Morris deals. Smith right back to Morris. Over to Hrbek. And that will retire the side. We're halfway home here in Game 7. It's Atlanta 1, Minnesota 1. We'll be back in 30 seconds on Twitch. Well, the runs are pretty easy. Terry Pendleton with a solo shot in the first, and Ken Hrbek doubled home Kirby Puckett in the fourth, as Lorenzo says he's having a very bad day in Eve right now. Pitching summary, here it is. John Smoltz, 4 innings, 4 hits, a run. It was earned. Both the runs in the ballgame have been earned. He struck out 2, and he's faced 16 batters. Jack Morris threw 20 batters. 5 innings, 4 hits, a run. It was earned. Yeah, I'm thrilled about that trade. Not. The home run to Pendleton, he has walked 1 and struck out 3. Finally, Mookie Betts has gone to the Dodgers with David Price after the Twins backed out. So Smoltz starts the 5th. Pagliarulo with a single and a 1-1 ball game. Smoltz delivers, and Pagliarulo smashes that down past Pendleton. He's going for extra bases, and Hunter just threw it in there. So Pagliarulo, the go-ahead run at second. Here's Gagne. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Smoltz has struck out 2. And now you start to wonder just how short these bullpens are going to be. Pitch from Smoltz. Got him! He got him on an 0-2. 80-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch, and Gagne was looking for something else. And so through 18 batters, Smoltz has gone 71 pitches, 4 1/3 innings, 5 hits, a run earned, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. John, I owe you like a ton of games because you've been a $20 contributor on Patreon for a while. What's the next game you want done? Dan Gladden is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Smoltz delivers. Gladden, ground ball to Belliard. Looks Pagliarulo back. Throws to first for the out. Let's see if Pagliarulo moves up. No, he does not. And there's 2 out. So a good play by Belliard. And that'll bring up Chuck Knobloch, who singled. So 2 out. Atlanta 1, Minnesota 1. Bottom of the 5th, Game 7, 91 World Series on a Patreon baseball special. Here's the pitch. Knobloch, little number to Lemke in front of the bag. He goes to first, and that will retire the side. And so no runs, 1 hit, no errors. The Twins leave on their 4th runner. After 5, it's the Braves 1, the Twins 1. Terry Pendleton, Ron Gant, and David Justice. Pendleton is 2 for 2. He has singled and homered. The homer came in the first, the lone Braves run. Morris delivers. Ground ball to Knobloch over to first, and Terry Pendleton is finally retired. Here's Ronnie Gant. Ron is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Morris's pitch. High fly ball, left field, but that'll stay in the yard. Gladden's there. 2 out. For David Justice is 0 for 1 with a walk. And I imagine if you're a fan of either of these two teams, that this is starting to get a little close to home. This one has been everything as advertised as you'd want in a 7th game. Pitch to Justice is a line drive to Knobloch, and that will retire the side. Braves go down in order in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 5.5, Atlanta 1, Minnesota 1. Kirby Puckett, Kent Hrbek, and Chili Davis to face Smoltz. Puckett 1 for 2 with a single. Smoltz got him on an 0-2 fastball on the outside corner. Just took something off at a 2-seamer, and I think Kirby was looking for the 4-seamer on the 0-2 pitch and watched it go by like a barn on the side of the road. Yeah, whatever you'd like, John. Hrbek 1 for 2. His double drove home Puckett in the 4th for the game, for the Twins' only run. Pitch to Kent is a low, slow roller to Pendleton over to first for the out. So 2 away for Chili Davis. Chili is 0 for 2. Smoltz delivers. High pop-up. Justice comes in. Shallow right field, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. After 6, somebody's 9 outs from a championship. Who's it going to be? 1-1. Bream, Hunter, and Olson. Bream is 0 for 2. Morris at 90 pitches. So, technically, I could see him going into the 8th. Pitch to Bream. Struck him out. Got him on a 1-2 fastball on the inside corner, and that's 4 for Morris. Brings up Brian Hunter, who was 2 for 2. He is singled twice. Morris delivers. Got him. He's getting stronger as we go along. Full count, off-speed pitch, and Hunter was reading dead red, and Morris got in the breaking ball. So that's 5. We could do that. Redo of the 84 Super Bowl. Don't want to do 2 football games in the same day, though. But again, PM me for when you want it. Marcus Allen in Tampa. I want the Redskins to win that, too. I never liked the Raiders as a kid. Greg Olson is 0 for 2. Morris delivers. Into right center. Back goes Mack. He'll make the catch in front of the track. And as Lorenzo tries to figure out who I am in in Eve. Nope, wrong button, Ron. If you would like a game played for you, $10. Get you any game in the Action PC library, any of the sports. Patreon.com, Retro Sports Network. I thank all my Patreons. John is certainly one of them. David Baseball Demos, Dale Lonsdale, Bobby Catalano, and others. Yep, thank you there. Patreon.com/Retro Sports Network. So Johnny Smoltz is showing the fatigue sign. Lorenzo says, I know who you are, Ron. I know who you are. Surely your name in Eve is Raider Hater. That's not true. I don't hate the Raiders as much anymore. I just like the Redskins better. I was never you know what? You know what got me soured on the Raiders? When they were in Oakland, I liked them. But when Davis forced his shenanigans and moved to Los Angeles, and we got to see them every week because NBC wanted to make the Raiders the AFC Cowboys, I didn't like that. Brian Harper, to get back to the baseball game, is 0 for 1. And so, yes, I rooted for the Redskins in that Super Bowl. I also rooted for them to beat Miami, if that makes you feel better. Pitch to Harper is a liner into left field for a base hit. Hunter is not a good arm out there. Harper is on with a single, and the Twins start the bottom of the 7th with a runner on. Here is Shane Mack. Shane is 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. And here's a ground ball to Breen. Belliard for 1. Back to first. Mack has wheels and beat it out. Not in time. But they get the force at second. It goes on the card 3-6. So here's Pagliarulo. Bobby Cox is leaving Smoltz in. Pagliarulo is singled and doubled. Throw to first. Mack is back. Or, as the song would say later on in the 90s, the return of the Mack. Pitch to Pagliarulo. Mack goes on to steal. Throw down to Belliard. Not in time. With 1 out, now you got a decision to make. Do you walk Pagliarulo to face Gagne? Or are you trying for the second out? Smoltz says, I want to throw. Pagliarulo waves the bat back and forth, and Smoltz got him on a 1-2 breaking ball. Oh, baby, that was big, and there's 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. That's a gamble, and Smoltz took it. So here's Gagne at 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. And the collective groan from the crowd here at the Metrodome tells you everything you need to know. Pitch from Smoltz. Fly ball, left field. Back goes Hunter. Makes the catch to retire the side. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. After 7. Atlanta 1. Minnesota 1. Wow. A stand and deliver performance from John Smoltz in the 7th. Mark Lemke is 0 for 1. Belliard and Lonnie Smith to follow. Lemke has a strikeout and a sacrifice bunt. Morris starts the 8th. Ball 4. And Steve Bedrosian, speaking of old friends from Atlanta, will come in to pitch. And so Bedrosian 5-3 on the real year. Bedrock pitched in 56 games. He had 6 saves. He is a fly ball plus pitcher. And that fastball tops out at 87. And isn't there an entire city who would love to get this one off of Bedrosian? Belliard, with nobody out, infield is guarding the lines. Belliard's going to drop one. He does, and Harper goes to second and can't get Lemke. The throw goes into center field. The bunt was put down. Harper picked it up, and he threw it away. And everybody safe. Runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the 8th. Harper, I thought, picked it up well in the dirt. And when he flung it, it just went past Knobloch. And so now the Braves are cooking with gas here in the 8th. Lonnie Smith is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. He hits righties at a 244 clip. Bobby Cox looks to his bench. And for who can hit a righty? I'm not going to use Danny Heap with a 12 at-bats. Keith Mitchell or Otis Nixon? So Otis Nixon, first off the bench, 297. No homers, but we're not really concerned about that. It's the 26 RBI, his speed, and the fact the Braves have the potential World Series winning run on second. Bedrosian deals. Snap throw to first. Herbeck is there, and so is Belliard. Lonnie's gone. That's right. Lonnie's gone. So Nixon with speed to burn. 1-0 count. Bedrosian deals. Fly ball. Center field. Puckett going back. Makes the catch. Lemke tags. Lemke will hold. So the first out Pendleton, runners on first and second. He's got a single, and his home run in the first put the Braves up 1-0. That's been the only run for Atlanta. The Twins got one in the fourth. Gladden, Knobloch, and Puckett against maybe Smoltz. Bedrosian deals up the middle. Knobloch to Gagne for one. Over to Hrbek. And they turn it. No runs, no hits. The error doesn't hurt. After 7.5. Oh boy, Atlanta 1, Minnesota 1. Danny Gladden, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Smoltz will get a base runner. 103 pitches, 7 innings, 6 hits, a run. It was earned, and he has struck out 5, and he is 1 out away from matching his real-life inning total here in Game 7. So Smoltz has given Atlanta everything he possibly can, and what he gives them now is gravy. Pitch to Gladden. Nope, Randy Bush is going to pinch hit. Now, do I override that? Remember, it was Gladden who won the game in the 10th. Randy Bush will pinch hit. 303, 6 homers, 23 RBI. Do they bring in a lefty? Nope. Smoltz wants him. And the way that John has pitched, he's earned it. Here's the pitch to Bush. Ground ball to third. Pendleton along the way. Across the way, and Bush beat it out. And Jarvis Brown will run. And Smoltz, Bobby Cox will come out for a visit. Smoltz is not tired. We're leaving him in. Juan Berenguer and Alejandro Pena warming up. Throw to first. Brown is back. So it's nail-biting time here at the Metrodome. Pitch to Knobloch. There goes Brown, and they're not going to throw. So Knobloch will draw the intentional walk to set up the double play. And Kirby Puckett will face a new pitcher. Alejandro Pena is coming in. Former Dodger, trying to hold this to a 1-1 tie in the bottom of the 8th. Pena went 2-0 in the real year with 11 saves and a 1.40 ERA. In 19 in the third innings, he was a deadline deal. He allowed 11 hits, 1 home run. He walked 3 and struck out 13. He is a ground ball plus pitcher and throws that fastball at 86. You got Kirby Puckett at the plate. He is singled, scored. That run came in the 4th, and struck out. And now all John Smoltz can do is what he did in Game 7 in real life. Just sit there and watch. Pena deals. Ground ball to Bream. He goes to Belliard for 1. Back to first. Kirby's running. Not in time. You could hear the crowd of the Metrodome go, oh, ooh. So the runner is Brown at third. Puckett at first. Hrbek at the plate. His double in the second and the 4th tied the game. 1 out. And again, they'll play halfway, but they really want to. Pena delivers. Ground ball to Lemke. They're trying for 2. Belliard 1. And Puckett with a roll block slide gives the Twins a 2-1 lead. Played him halfway. Corners in, only Goat works on the bunt. And so Kirby Puckett with a roll block slide, and there was no throw. Atlanta gambled they had a 15% chance of turning 2, and they'll go to Gant, Justice, and Bream to try to tie this in the 9th. So Chili Davis is 0 for 3. Herbeck on first. Pena deals. Ground ball to Bream. That would have been 2, and the side is retired. But Rick Aguilera coming in. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. The Twins 2. The Braves 1. So the closer for Minnesota needs to get 3 outs. Gant, Justice, and Bream. Aguilera with 4 and 5. It's not an impossible deal. With 42 saves and a 2.35 ERA. In 63 games, he threw 69 innings, 20 runs, 18 of them earned, 3 shots. He's walked 30 and struck out 61. He is a fastball pitcher. He'll top at 95, and he does not favor fly balls or ground balls. Ron Gant is 0 for 3. He has struck out 1 run, 4 hits, no errors. The Braves have left on 4. Steve Bedrosian, in the irony of Alanis Morissette ironies, is set to get the win. For the Twins, 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. And I think the loss would go to Smoltz. Pitch to Gant. Fly ball left field. Brown, who's now in left, is a 3 and a 3, and there's 1 out. 3-1 count. Aguilera gave him a fastball, and Gant popped it up. Here's Justice, 0 for 2 with a walk. Here's the pitch. Got away from Harper, and the tying run is on with 1 out for Sid Bream, who is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. I'll hold it here to see if John wants me to do anything with Justice or Bream. But the tying run is on with 1 out. Hunter on deck. He is 2 for 3. And then Olsen to follow if the game does not end. And if you want to be cute, if you want to look ahead to the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Brian Harper, Shane Mack, and Pagliarulo. So I'll give John a few more seconds, and I'll take a drink. Infield guarding the lines, Pagliarulo and Herbeck. Any good pinch hitters for Bream. So against a righty, you could go with Danny Heap, although... Oh, Jeff Treadway is a 325 hitter against a righty. Keith Mitchell, Jeff Blauser. As I sip my Gatorade, Bream is a double play waiting to happen. You want Treadway or Blauser? And so they call for Treadway. Treadway at 320. Played up here in Burlington, as a matter of fact, for the Vermont Reds. 3 homers and 32 RBI. Justice on first. Aguilera trying to sweat out 3 outs for the World Series. Here's the pitch. Throw to first, and Herbeck and Justice get tangled up. Justice is back. Herbeck holding on to him like they're on the Titanic. Pitch to Treadway. A snap throw down from Harper, and they got him! Oh my goodness. Brian Harper has picked off David Justice. And there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th top of the 9th of Game 7 of the World Series. And so you better hope Treadway can deliver, because this is Atlanta's last chance. I'm amazed at just how close this game has come to real life. So the Homer Hankies are waving 55,000 in the stands. A 1-0 count. That's right, an out they could not afford. I wasn't going to run him anyway. What a play by Brian Harper. Aguilera delivers. Treadway to Knobloch. Over to first, and the Twins are the world champions of 1991. They win this one 2-1. That was a ball game. John Smoltz gets pegged for the loss he did not deserve. In all honesty, 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 1 and struck out 5. Alejandro Pena did exactly what he needed to do. He retired all 3 men he faced on 7 pitches. And the irony of ironies is that Steve Bedrosian gets the win. Rick Aguilera gave up the base runner and got out of it because David Justice got picked off of first. Unreal. Unreal. And so that's the Patreon game. A run on 4 hits and no errors for Atlanta. Minnesota, Kent Hrbek drove in both the runs. And so he is your Digital Dice Game 7 MVP. John Smoltz, 7 innings. He takes a loss. Rick Aguilera gets the save. I'm sorry, Braves for Life. That's not how you wanted it to come out. We talk about these things all the time. As I go on camera, I got a couple minutes to fill here. As that you want these games, how close to real life can you get? And by God, it might not have been 1-0 in the 10th, but 2-1 is pretty gosh darn close. And both pitchers pitched a whale of the game. So if you want a Patreon game or a game of your choice, $10 gets you anything you want in the library. Ciabatta, okay. Thanks, Lorenzo, for the very kind words. I do appreciate it. So if you want to be in touch with the game, get a hold of me, and we will figure out something. So John and I owe a bunch of games, too. We'll do a Redskins game. I think we're going to do that Super Bowl. Go Skins. And so thank you so much for watching. You'll see this on Tuesday on YouTube. And so, for all of us at Retro Sports Network, it's been a long day. A football game, a podcast that just uploaded, and now a baseball game. Wait, okay. I'll wait. You guys are still watching. Time zone check. You could just don't give me any more bits. Right now it's 5:56 Pacific. It's 4:56 Pacific. Oh, next live stream noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, because he's already paid me for it. And I forgot who you're going to get, but we'll go back to the 78 replay. Hey, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Have yourself a wonderful Sunday night. Take care, everybody. Thanks a bunch.